when does the cost of more become detrimental? When the parents are in this fear-based behavior of more. To the athlete, it always feels like a push instead of a pull. It always feels like judgment and criticism rather than support and encouragement. I was working with a family, and the dad was about more, and he was the push. And I'm sitting there talking with the family. We're on a Zoom call, and I'm like, okay, tell me what your week looks like. So I'm just listening, and I'm watching the dad, and I'm watching the athlete. And I'm looking at that dynamic and I'm like, there's the cost. There it is. It's right there in front of my face. And I intervened and I said, okay, hold on for a second. I asked the athlete a question about the training, and the athlete was in shutdown. And then he just gave me the answers that he knew I wanted to hear. So I took the parents out of the call and I said, okay, parents, I said, I just want to chat with your son. Then I got to hear the truth. I got to hear the truth about what was going on in this family dynamic. And it was all because of more. It was the push. I said to the athlete, I said, okay, I said, can you think of some things that you could say to your dad or your mom of, for me to show up as my greatest self, here's something that you should stop saying. Here's something you should stop doing. And then here's what you should start saying. Here's something you could start doing. And I asked him these questions and he gave me the answers. And I said, well, would you be willing to share these answers with your parents? And he said, no. He said, would you do it for me? And so I brought the parents back in. And this is what I said to the dad. Okay, you understand your fear-based behavior. You see it, it's a push. You see it's a lecture, it's a criticism. And I said, now I want you to see this. Basketball is getting in the way of the relationship with your son. What's more important, basketball or the relationship with your son? And I said, until you get clear on that, you are going to continue to push your son away. He's going to continue to shut down. He's going to give you yes, no responses. And you're going to break the connection. Because I said it's already starting to break and I can hear it, see it, and feel it. You don't get to chase more for free. And what I want parents to ask themselves as I'm chasing and pushing, is the sport that our family is currently involved in, is it getting in the way of the relationship with my kids? It's a really good question to ask yourself. It doesn't mean you give up the sport. It means you take a truthful look in the mirror and you face your fears. You start handling those fears so they stop driving your behavior, so they stop getting in the way of the relationship with your kids.